Welcome back to the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Whalegum, and I'm delighted to have Jason Rose in the house from SAP. How are you?
I'm very well. It's great to see you again, Tom.
Great to see you again. We had you in the studio at SBOUC back in October, and we were just talking a little bit. What's been the big news since then that you would want ASUG members to know and to think about when you're thinking, okay, what are the hot topics in the business objects world?
Sure. Actually, Tom, there's been a lot going on in the last several months. So Feature Pack 3, which is the follow-on release to BusinessObjects 4.0, is now nearing the end of its ramp-up cycle. So it's been in ramp-up for the last couple of months. Will be available very shortly. So I'm sure many ASUG members are out there anticipating the new release. It's got great new mobile capabilities around Explorer. We've also released our predictive analysis client, so for customers interested in predictive. And here at Sapphire, we're debuting and launching a new tool called SAP Visual Intelligence, which is an extension of the Explorer family for doing desktop analysis, which I think is going to be really exciting for the community.
Absolutely. So just to make it clear, I remember we had a little talk on Twitter about this. Feature Pack, what's going to be the next? Will there some 4.1?
There will be.
Let's make it state for the record right here.
For the record, so SAP BusinessObjects 4.0, Feature Pack 3 is the release currently in ramp-up.
Okay.
Not going to change the name.
Okay.
Not going to change the name.
Got it. Not going to change the name.
And then 4.1 will be a follow-on release after Feature Pack 3.
Okay. All right. So there's been some exciting stuff going on in the business objects world about. There's, for example, last week they had that, or 2 weeks ago, we had the All Access thing organized by Miko Yuk, which was wonderful. Can you talk a little bit about your approach and SAP's approach to listening to ASUG members, to the community? And I know, they can't change all the software, but where does the customer viewpoint go when it gets to your doorstep and your peers?
Well, I think it's great. We're actually very fortunate to have such an active community out there, especially around business objects and business intelligence. It's actually really impressive. So there are a number of things. So for example, when the community was talking about the direction for dashboards, as an example, you mentioned the All Access program.
Right.
That was an immediate kind of us listening and meeting the needs of the community that came in via Twitter. So it was something Miko and I actually got together, came up with the idea, put together the panel of experts, and really addressed the community's questions in that forum. And we really look to, adjust whether it be blog posts or other ways to communicate with the community via what's coming in through Twitter. So we're out there, we're listening, my entire team is on Twitter, and we want to make sure that we're addressing those questions as they come in, engaging with the community, meeting with the influencers, the mentors and other people that are out there talking about business objects and making sure they get the information and the experience that they're looking for.
So in terms of your responses have been not only obviously engaging quick on Twitter, but blog posts, webinars, is that the kind of community aspect or the collaboration aspect that you want to use?
Well, absolutely. So it goes through from SCN, obviously being one aspect. We have our business analytics blog where we address a lot of the questions, comments from the community. But then also it really impacts even the product direction. So things like the dashboard statement of direction that we put out there, as well as other assets that we put out there to make sure the community's needs are being addressed and that we're getting the best technical, as well as business and roadmap information into their hands.
One of the things I hear from ASUG members is, what is the future for business objects customers who are not SAP customers? What is the percentage of do you guys have that, of business objects customers, legacy, who are just not going to SAP? And what's their future? Because they're concerned, do we have to get on HANA? I mean, I think there's some questions out there. I'd love to have you address that.
Absolutely. So it's still actually greater than 50% of our installed base is more of a traditional business objects that's not running a core SAP system, either ERP or BW. So it's actually a very significant part of our installed base. It's a significant part of our roadmap. We firmly believe that we're going to do a lot of work for SAP BW customers, and you see that in the SAP Business Objects Analysis client tools. But really, at the end of the day, if we're not winning in the agnostic market with no SAP ERP, then we're not truly innovating in BI. And really, the innovation in BI is about even the most true blue SAP customer is going to have other systems in their environment, and we haven't met a data source we don't love. So we really want to continue that with our business object solutions.
One of the other things, too, that can rev up the community, is I'm sure, is name changes of products. How does that work at SAP? I mean, how do you, again, the passion of this community, they do not miss a thing, and that's good, I think. I mean, I think it helps you, but how do you guys approach the name changes when people have so much invested in there?
Sure, it's something that we take very gravely in terms of changing or updating names. Obviously, you don't take a teenager and just randomly change their name. It causes a lot of confusion and problems.
And the Facebook account has to be, right.
Yeah, absolutely. The Twitter handle,
right,
who knows what else is going to be impacted. So, we really do weigh it quite heavily. It's not something we do often, despite all of the kind of press and influence. It's just when it does happen, it is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we really do. We actually, back in 4.0, when we did the last round of naming changes, we actually worked with the community very closely. So we did interviews with many different ASUG, the strategic advisory groups, and really looked at that. And for example, just a quick one, prior to 4.0, as I came into the team, they were going to change the name of Web Intelligence. We didn't change the name of Web Intelligence, and a big reason for that was actually because of the community and the feedback we received. So we do take it very seriously, and it's not something we want to do often, because not only does it cause a lot of chaos in the community, but it also just has a ripple through effect throughout the entire product lifecycle.
Right. One other thing we were talking about a little bit before was some of the other pain points I've heard is about support issues, and today the UK and Ireland group over there across the pond talked a little bit about the support needs, and their group the group survey said that they wanted the support to improve on BusinessObjects. Something you guys are aware of, and if so, how are you guys dealing with it?
Yep, absolutely. It's something we're very well aware of. We actually have a whole support experience team within our global support organization that's really focused on, for example, when you go onto Service Marketplace, there's a little link that says Business Objects on it that helps you find where the different solutions are, how can you get to documentation, and that group's actually been instrumental in actually putting little safe houses, as I like to call them, where customers can go find out about specifically business object solutions and where to find them in the support community. That's one example. There's actually a team working on making that experience better. They've done some great work, but there's still a lot more to be done, so we're definitely working hard there.
What's your other biggest challenge that you're working on? And I'll let you end on a good note with some success, but what's the other biggest thing that you guys see community talking about that you want to get right over the next 6 to 12 months?
Sure, I think the number one topic, I mean, you don't have to go far to follow the #BI4 hashtag.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of just making sure that we are continuing to develop the support documentation, that we're continuing to deliver the facts on 4.0 and the great successes that our customers are having with it, because I think if you follow that hashtag, I mean, there are customers struggling with certain aspects of their implementation, but there is good support out there, there's good documentation, and it's just continuing to make sure the community can find that and move to 4.0. So I'd say that's my kind of biggest objective and challenge to overcome right now.
Has anything surprised you as what was it, last September when it went GA?
That's correct.
Has anything surprised you in the intervening 8 months or so?
Absolutely. Okay. With regard to the uptake, there's surprises every day, Tom. But, with regard to the uptake, I think just the amazing number of downloads we've actually seen of 4.0. The community has been waiting for 4.0 for a long time. Yeah. So the amount of people that have downloaded it or trying out is truly impressive. There was a pretty huge wave after we went generally available. I think last time I checked, we're probably almost at 40,000 downloads of 4.0. So it's just an incredible uptake and a huge wave of interest. So it surpassed my expectations.
Those customers, ASUG members who are watching who are still on 3.x, without getting too salesy, what is your advice to them they're sitting on the fence, they're saying, I'm not sure, maybe we don't have the resources or the skill set or whatever. They're sitting, what's your advice to them?
Sure, so we actually just had 3M on stage speaking with us in the conference here, and they're a great XI 3.1 customer who's now on 4.0 Feature Pack 3. My advice to you is Feature Pack 3 is literally weeks away from going GA. There's a lot of both technological enhancements in Feature Pack 3, as well as some fundamental workings in the core to make that upgrade process more easy. Okay. So with Feature Pack 3 right around the corner, my advice would be watch for the GA announcement, grab Feature Pack 3 and go to it, exploration views, improvements in the semantic layer in the universe, improvements in web intelligence. There's a whole host of reasons to go to Feature Pack 3, and it's right around the corner. We're really excited about it.
Great. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Up next, Gina's going to be back up on stage interviewing Anthony Bosco and Mike Stocco, who is the chairman and incoming chairman of ASUG. So come back in about 10 minutes.
All right.